And our circle consists of 4 the guys. Is myself, Tupac, and Snoop. So we sat down and we was eating and we was conversating. And me and Hammer go way back. So we was like, yeah, people trying to say Hammer, you shit ain't the bomb no more. So everybody's like, wait a minute, it ain't their decision to say what's good and what's not good. It's our decision.
Whether people understand it or not, there is a certain amount of depth that comes along with the game. That's a part of doing business. So
the next time that I saw Pac, the stories earlier are the stories before Death Row. The Pac I was with was his last 8 months at Death Row. I was with him every day, even the last day. The last night.
So this old interview from the 90s just popped back up where Suge Knight revealed that he told MC Hammer that Diddy was out here stealing artists and possibly even moving them out of the way so he could profit from their music after they're gone. Now, it's no secret that Diddy was snatching talent, messing with contracts, and playing artists behind the scenes, but this is the first time we're hearing that Suge Knight told Hammer to watch his back. By the way, this clip is from when Hammer was still loosely involved with Death Row, and a lot of people forget that Hammer wasn't just doing pop hits. He was still in the mix in the 90s and even worked with Suge a little after Tupac passed. So basically, Suge painted Diddy as a scheming snake who gets close to his artists, gains their trust, and then flips the script. And when you compare that to what's coming out now, lawsuits, ex-artists speaking up, it all lines up a little too well with what Suge was saying all those years ago. So what exactly did Suge tell Hammer about Diddy? And did Hammer even cross paths with Diddy after this warning? Let's get into it.
So we said, okay, we finna call Hammer and put Hammer on Death Row. And we're gonna go in there and make a record and make Hammer go sell all the records that he normally would sell and show the world, because there's a lot of people imitating what Death Row does.
Stanley Kirk Burrell, aka MC Hammer, is way more than just the guy in parachute pants dancing to You Can't Touch This. Yes, he had hits like Too Legit to Quit and Pumps in a Bump, and he was known for wild performances and flashy style. But behind all that, Hammer had a serious reputation. Back in the day, a lot of rappers didn't really take Hammer seriously. His stage shows were over the top, and the flashy image made people think he was just a pop act. But that didn't last long. Word got around fast that Hammer wasn't someone to mess with, because behind the music and the moves, Hammer was known for handling beef off stage, quietly but effectively. He wasn't loud about it, but he was known for settling scores, and people in the industry knew it. Even the Crips didn't want smoke with MC Hammer. There was a situation back in the day where Hammer and the Crips had some kind of run-in. Normally, that would have ended badly for anyone else, but with Hammer, it was a totally different story. Instead of things getting violent, they actually apologized to him.
You know what I'm saying? But when Hammer did come down, he was like, hey, Hammer, let me holler at you for a minute, whatever. Lewis walked past him.
This is Michael Concepts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me holler at you for a minute, man. Oh, man, hey, bro, I apologize, man. Hey, man, let me talk to you for a minute. And Hammer said, what's up, man? He said, man, I apologize for the thing. I didn't know, the people you knew and whatever, this and that. And I apologize for what I did, brother. It's all good. We cool. We good. And Hammer's like, yeah, it's all right. But see, what he didn't know was, I don't know if you know Big West.
But there's another thing that really set MC Hammer apart from a lot of rappers at the time, and that's the fact that he didn't party. While so many artists were deep in that freak-off scene, Hammer wasn't moving like that. Sure, he had money, flashy clothes, and a huge entourage, but behind the scenes, he kept it clean. No wild drinking or substance use stories, no scandals, no late-night chaos. He wasn't trying to be the life of the party. He was running his career like a business.
Discipline Hammer learned in baseball and the military have been channeled into his performing life. Before this tour, he put his dancers through the same grueling routine he put himself through. 4 miles of running, 8 hours of dancing a day.
When I was out there running, I was thinking a lot of times about all my competitors. Their records be going through my mind. I'd say to myself, gotta go further, gotta run further. So I can do a better show.
It's a visual extravaganza designed to show off Hammer and his budding entertainment empire. All the groups touring with him are signed to his record label. And while the tour is great exposure, the main man's obsession with perfection and clean living, dancers are subjected to curfews and bed checks, have his detractors calling him a control freak. So you find yourself being somewhat of a father on the tour, a strict dad?
I don't want to ever have to call somebody's mother or father and say, I got bad news for you. They found your daughter this morning dead on 10th Street about 4 o'clock. I think the first question from that parent mind would be, Hammer, I let my daughter go with you. What was she doing out at 4 o'clock in the morning on 10th Street? So therefore, I accept my responsibility, and if I get labeled a disciplinarian, then again, thank you.
MC Hammer was a multi-millionaire by his early 20s, thanks to the explosive success of Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him in 1990, which went diamond, which means 10 times platinum. He was one of the first hip-hop artists to break into the mainstream global pop culture and rake in that kind of money through album sales, touring, endorsements, and merchandise. But beyond that, Hammer wasn't involved in the kind of scandals like most other artists during the 90s and early 2000s. Yes, he was feared in the streets, but he also had a squeaky clean public image, especially at his peak. There is no public record or credible report of Hammer being involved in substance use or heavy partying. And no multiple baby mamas or child support drama either. Hammer has been married to the same woman, Stephanie, since 1985, and they have 5 children together. And they also raised Hammer's nephew as one of their own. MC Hammer really is the blueprint for a clean, early successful rap career that didn't crash and burn from scandal. He had some issues with finances and lost a lot of money at one point, but he didn't lose his soul, his family, or his mind, which is more than you can say for a lot of people who came after him.
I've even had a record company, and I don't want to lambaste nobody's name or anything, but they told me, Hammer, you know what the problem is? You're a little too clean. Here's what we're going to do. Why don't you start to do a few things that maybe dirty up your image a little bit. Maybe we can sell a little more records. I've had all that. I told him, that's not me. I lived that life. I've been around with people involved in that. I'm going to continue to do what I do. Whether they like it or not, I'm going to try to encourage the kids to do the right thing.
And living a clean lifestyle and staying away from the industry parties is probably what saved him. Because if you look at the patterns in the industry, especially around Diddy, it's the party scene where things got really sinister. A lot of artists ended up in weird situations after getting pulled into that world. And while Diddy was already known back then for throwing the biggest, wildest parties in the game, Hammer was never really in that mix. Now, there's also this rumored story about a conversation between Suge Knight and MC Hammer. The two were known to be cool in the mid-90s, and Hammer even did some work with Death Row after Tupac's death. According to some sources, Suge pulled Hammer aside and warned him straight up about how Diddy was moving funny, snaking artists, stealing talent, and manipulating contracts. But that's not all. It turns out, Suge didn't just warn MC Hammer about Diddy stealing artists. He allegedly told him something way darker. In a recently resurfaced interview, Suge hinted that Tupac had figured out something about Diddy that went far beyond shady contracts or industry politics. According to Suge, Tupac believed Diddy wasn't just into men. He thought Diddy was using his power in the industry to take advantage of young male artists at Bad Boy. And it wasn't so much Diddy's sexuality that bothered Tupac. His concern was that Diddy was allegedly crossing serious lines with vulnerable young artists and using his position, money, and influence in a way that felt predatory.
If it was a rapper that messed with guys and go both ways, Pac didn't feel that was good. Because Pac felt he was real serious about the music. So if you're a producer or you rap, and regardless if you're married or not, and you got a boyfriend that works for you, a real boyfriend who used to be a dancer, Pac would studied all the facts. Pac was real smart. So before he say something, he'd go and do his homework. He'd say, okay, this guy right here, they say he gay, he go both ways. I'm not gonna put it out there on him yet. But I'm gonna do my research, and if it's true, the world should know. Because this guy might be around one of those little kids one day and mess around with them. And, so I'm gonna do it to actually save him from molesting a little child. That's why Pac attacked certain rappers and said they gay.
So Suge reportedly passed this info on to MC Hammer, and Hammer took it seriously. He was already someone who avoided the party scene and industry traps, so he made sure to keep his distance from Bad Boy and Diddy. And on top of that, he allegedly even tried to warn some younger artists coming up at the time. So looking back now, with all the disturbing accusations piling up around Diddy, that old story takes on a whole new weight. It makes you wonder, how much did people know back then about what Diddy was doing? And how many tried to speak up before it was too late? while other artists got close to Diddy and later found themselves in legal battles or broke or worse, Hammer stayed in his own lane. Whether it was luck, instincts, or that alleged warning from Suge, Hammer definitely dodged a bullet that a lot of others didn't see coming. But let me hear your thoughts on all this. What do you think is the main reason MC Hammer never got tangled up in the industry party scene? As for Diddy, do you believe Tupac was right about his suspicions about Diddy and young male artists? And if so, does this mean that the industry has been covering up this kind of stuff for years? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and stick around for this next video.